Yo, my YouTube fam. Today the topic is when to quit. For me, it's a bit of a sticky one, man. I think about my YouTube channel, which I've had for 2 years and a half, and I haven't made money from it, uh, sort of at all. I probably made like £40 from one of my guys who gifted me during my live stream, and it's one of those ones where I consider about when do I quit, and it happens in increments. Sometimes it's every few weeks, sometimes it's every quarter, or even sometimes once every few months. And I break it down in a few things. Like when you consider quitting, you either do it because of religious reasons, you do it because family or friends, you do it because you don't enjoy it anymore. You don't see any benefit for other people from you doing it. You don't see any improvement from doing it yourself, and you don't get any transferable skills from it. And another reason would be your intuition telling you that you shouldn't do it, that gut feeling. When I break it down in my past, I used to do forex trading, and I stopped doing it in 2022. Around end of 2022, I stopped, and I stopped forex trading because it included interest, and being a Muslim, one of the things that's forbidden, haram, is dealing with interest. And it was a tough decision because I tried to see so many ways that interest wouldn't be involved and working around what I know is true. But I had to submit to the fact that there is interest, and I'm a Muslim. I do my best to practice as much as I can. So let me just completely stop this. And that was something that I stopped. And in that same way, there would be different things that you do in life that you find in a religious situation you would not do. And if you are a religious person, then you shouldn't do that, because there are things in life you should do and shouldn't do. In terms of like family and friends, there's going to be times where people give you advice on certain things because they have experience and they care about you. So they don't want you to steer down a path of spending a lot of time in something futile. One of the best quotes I ever got was from a rap song by J. Cole. And he said, in adolescence, no, probably wasn't adolescence. If I ever remember the song, I can tell you it. He says, "Good news is you came a long way. Bad news is you went the wrong way." Such a beautiful way to hard put in that hard work can be amazing, but not good if it's in the wrong area. When your family or friends give you advice on these kind of things, they just don't want you to steer down a path of doing so much hard work in something that won't actually get you somewhere that fits you and where you can actually succeed in. So listening to their advice is actually really, really good, and it's going to be really hard. It's the hardest part is when you're in it, you don't want to leave. So getting advice at that moment, it seems hard to take. Pause. For example, if you get in an argument with someone else and there's a third person that is mediating the argument, when they tell you to calm down or say something that you've done wrong, your first instinct, if you're angry and you see red and you're just fuming, is to rebuttal that person and fuel that anger more and get more angry. But you know that if you was the person that was actually the mediator between both parties, you would actually want to calm it down. But things are different when you're emotional. So in that same way, you're going to be doing the business, doing the career choice, and or doing the hobby, or doing the passion. You'll be in the heat of the moment. You're very emotional about the subject. It can be touchy. So when someone gives you advice that steers away from where you want it to go, it can be hurt. It can be hurtful to you because you've attached it to yourself in that way. You have to see through yourself, that means you have to be self-aware, you have to be humble, and you have to take some time to digest that advice. And that's very important. It saves you so much time of being someone who's negligent, arrogant, and learns the hard way instead of taking advice from others. And that's called wisdom. Being able to learn from someone else's experience and apply it to yourself is wisdom. The other one is about no improvement. If you're doing something for years on end and you're not seeing any improvement whatsoever, then that's a sign that you should reconsider and maybe quit and move on. For example, with my YouTube journey in the last 2.5 years, if I was to say that I never gained a single subscriber, I got impressions, but I never got any views, and no one actually engaged with what I was creating, then that is room for questioning if it's worth continuing on. In the same way, if you was training in the gym in a certain way and you wasn't gaining any muscle mass whatsoever or seeing improvement on the weight on the scale, then it causes for a decision that you should change things up. And that's actually a good point, because it doesn't mean you need to stop working out completely or stop YouTube completely. It just means that you need to reassess what's going on here. Maybe it's a wrong method you're using. Maybe you're around the wrong people. Maybe you're not putting enough time in the right places. Those kind of things affect the system, that's the engine that you're creating and working on. So no improvement is a sign to quit or change what's going on. Another bit is intuition. So the gut feeling is something that is not logical or rational, where you make a choice based off. So it's like when you're walking down a forest and you see a left and a right, you have a choice, and logically you can make a decision of the left makes more sense, but sometimes you have this feeling, this sense, and it could be emotional or just an instinctive feeling to go right. And sometimes going right can help, and then another time it can be a bad thing. But understanding that intuition is there, and the way Allah created us is something that can benefit us at times. So taking that time to listen to your intuition sometimes, instead of trying to over rationalize everything and overthink things, that instinctive feeling that you get on certain things, pick that up and understand why, and then take that choice. The next bit is you would want to quit if there are no skills that you gain from it at all, and especially if the skills are not transferable. If you're doing clay making and you find yourself you're not gaining any skills from making clay models and there isn't anything transferable from that, then that's a sign to quit, because it's just not beneficial. If you go doing it for 10 years, you want to at least get some skill that you can take out of it, and then a skill that you can transfer into your other parts of your life. And it could, even with YouTube, for example, there is a communication skill that you can gain from it, being a better communicator and someone who listens better and someone who is able to entertain an audience, or educate a large group of people. If you are not looking at in that lens, then you're missing out a lot of what you can be bringing out of this. It's a difference between you becoming a better content creator and communicator versus someone who just mediates and is mediocre throughout their years, and it takes them 10 years to get to a point where person A would have already has achieved in 1.5 or 3 years. So making sure that skills are something you are putting in that list of things you're trying to achieve and improve on is a sign that you should either quit or not. And the last thing is that there isn't any benefit to the people around you or the society that you are contributing your output to or your input to. And whether you're doing a form of communication, a form of content, a form of a product or service to other people, if there is zero benefit to other people that you are doing this for, then it's a sign that maybe you should quit, because something doing something for yourself is tremendous and is beautiful, but doing something for other that can help other people benefit from that is 100 is way better. I would say it's there is if I ever had to pick one or the other, it would always be benefiting those people, because it just leads to a domino effect, and that's the kind of legacy that you should want to have, benefiting and contributing to the benefit and the betterment of society is something that I value so much. So I would always pick that over just doing something for myself. And there's a time and a place for that choice, but that should be my go-to every single time. Um, so yeah, when it comes to quitting, those are the kind of reasons that I would decide, okay, this should be something I should quit on. There are a lot of other things that you can go through and decide, okay, this is worth making that choice to quit to. And with my YouTube is something that I always have to consider with those options there that I've just listed. If it's something that is halal, something that is beneficiary to the people that watch it and the people around me, is it something that I can get skills and transferable skills from? Is there any improvement or growth in the channel that I'm building? Um, what's my intuition telling me? And what kind of advice am I getting from family and friends from what's happening? Let me know what kind of things that you pick up as well from this. Is there any other reasons to quit that you would pick and then define that, so I can kind of add that to my own list. And hopefully this list here has helped you in some way to figure out how you would assess your own passions and your own career. Thank you so much for watching. You are amazing. See you later.